Alright, so today I'm just going to be doing my first video. I just want to show you how I take photos at Burns Beach, which is my local beach, and what gear I use. So the first thing is that I use a Nikon D750 and I use a Nikon 14-24 f2.8 lens, and I mainly use it at 14mm just to stretch everything out. So it was just a bit too windy down there, so I decided to record it, the audio here. Basically, I'm trying to find a spot where the water isn't gonna splash on the camera while I have the video camera recording me, but I end up not being able to find a spot, and I just end up taking the photo and bringing it back home. So this is the tripod setup that I've been using lately. It lets me get really close to the subject and really stretch it out, make it look really large. So I'm just about to show where I want to shoot. I just want to shoot in between these two rocks in front of me where it makes that V shape. The camera's going to be in there, so you can see it's pretty dangerous to be recording at the same time whilst also trying to take a photo with that splash going on. So I'll basically be going in there, taking the photos, taking the camera off the tripod, and when the water comes back through and starts rushing out, I put it back on the tripod and try and get another exposure, just so I don't risk the camera getting damaged. And this is the composition I'm going to try and get, obviously vertical though. Alright, so I brought the photos into Lightroom. This is the first shot, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get the right composition, and the best way to do that is without the tripod and just free roaming around with the camera. The aperture was set to f11 from a previous shot, so I was getting a lot of motion blur since it was very low light. Basically I found the spot straight away. I really liked this composition, but it was just a bit too low, especially when the water came in. I wish I could have the rocks up this high in the actual shot, but it was just too low and the water would hit the camera. So here's me setting it up onto the tripod. Everything's all sharp. It's just a bit too high, so a few of the shots just testing the water coming in, changing the aperture to 2.8 to get a sharper free roaming shot with the quicker shutter speed, testing how high the water comes in. So it's coming in pretty close to the camera, but not too bad. Here I found the actual composition that I want to use. This way I can leave the camera on the tripod. I've got a quick release plate so I can whip it off in case the water comes in too quick, which I normally do. I normally have the camera high above my head, and when the wave comes in and settles down, I whip it back onto the tripod and then get the water as it's flowing outwards. So that looks pretty good, but I remember a certain shot looking really nice in the camera. Here we go. So this is the photo that I'm after. I really like the levels it made here. It's got this line, kind of connects all the way to the sky. So we'll work with this. First things first, get the horizon straight. And now I'll use my Seascape preset basically for really dark skies without really red clouds. So this basically just mucks around with the sky exposure a bit and also brings some detail out. Alright, so now we have the image we want to get to. We need to fix up the sky and basically the black gradient we have over the rocks, which is unnatural. This will only be natural if you're using a gradient filter, like a physical filter over your lens, and this is why I don't use those filters, because it makes masking super annoying. So we're basically just going to get rid of the gradient filter on this and edit this photo into Adobe Photoshop. We're going to have to mask out the rocks, which will be pretty simple. Okay, here's the red channel, green, and the blue. This is where we're going to make our mask from. So we want the foreground as close to black as we can and the sky as close to white as we can. So red is going to be the best way to start there. We'll just go to this duplicated copy, and we're going to do permanent adjustment to it in levels, and we're just going to make all the blacks darker until this part here starts to creep in on turning black too, which we don't want. So around there we'll bring the whites back. Cool. We're going to paint over this mask with a hard brush and get rid of all these highlight spots. Now you can get in here and you can make this mask super good, but we'll just try to do as quick as we can. Dot, dot, dot. Okay. Let's get this, the sky that we want, and paste it on top, and we're on the actual photo. Control left click the mask, click here, put the mask down, there we go. So watch the rocks here. Now it's a pretty good mask, but it's a bit weird, it's a bit fake. So if we just filter, blur, Gaussian blur, blur that a bit, unlock the layer and okay, sorry, my screen recording cut out. So basically we've got the mask, but it's just a bit too fake. So what we did was we blurred it and we just moved it down. Well, which is there. Sweet, now it's on to dodging and burning. So basically, to dodge and burn, the way I do it is I make a new layer and make it into a soft light layer, and if I want to dodge, as in make this brighter, I select the color of it and I make it the brightest and a bit less saturated version of the color that I picked, and then I whip out my big ass tablet for the finer details. I get a normal circular brush with 0% hardness, normally about 5% opacity, but for the sake of this, to make it go a bit quicker, we have 13. And you can see I'm just painting on color, just a slightly lighter color to the parts I think they could really benefit from being a bit brighter. I'm just going to make this part a bit more shiny. You can paint the layer so it's 100% color, and then painting won't do any more, so you need to do a new dodging and burning layer on top of it. You can set up a little action, which is what I have. I press F8 and that adds another layer, so I can add extra detail onto it. So as smooth as I'd like here. I'd normally spend like maybe an hour or two doing all this, because it's quite soothing. Get some lines there, add some light here, add some light in the rock. Normally I'd go in and I'd like get a brush that small and add every little bit, then get every bit brighter, but it would just take too long. So let's get the general effect. Make this sky a bit nicer, a bit smoother. Add another layer, make the brush a bit bigger. And there we go. Another layer. It's all blue, so blue is a good starting point. This is just for dodging. Making it look hectic. That's just too strong. See, it's just, you can tell, too much. So maybe just a bit around there. Make it smaller. And get into all the details to really accentuate every little crack and rock face in your image. It's looking good. Sweet. And let's just do one last thing for this photo, which is going to be an adjustment in the curves. And let's make it a vignette. So we're going to grab the gradient, grab the circle, pick the black to clear, so the opacity is something like that. Get a nice circle going and soften it out a bit. Because it's a rectangle, you can't just do circles, you'd get a weird one along there, so you want to kind of move your gradient thing up and down. Go to the curve and just darken it a bit to bring your eye in. Don't screw around with the lights too much. Duplicate this, Control J, invert it, get rid of these points, and make the center really nice and bright. So we make a new group and put these in here. That's what it did to the image, it just draws you in a bit more. We do the dodging and burning into another group. Changes the whole photo. And there you have it. From plain photo, if we just get the basic one, let's make it a bit brighter. Duplicate that, pop that under there. First photo, Lightroom, masking, dodging and burning, and then the vignette. So this is just a quick way that I would do my photos. It would just take a lot longer, and be more refined and be less saturated and whatever. So thanks for watching, and I'll try and make a new video soon, and I'll leave you with the before and after.